Hello friends, welcome back to the Start UPSC. We have completed 50 questions, right? Now in this video, let's start with 51st question. Okay. With reference to foreign direct investments in India, which one of the following is considered its major characteristics? Major characteristics about FDI. Okay. See friends, what is FDI? It's a foreign investors will be there, no? Okay. Non-resident investors, okay. Any person living outside India, they will primarily take their money, okay, and they'll come to our country and they'll try to invest mostly in the long-term investments, okay, which where they'll try to invest in our companies or listed companies and non-listed companies, okay, even in government securities also, not all, few government securities, okay. Those people who don't want directly to invest, they'll try to take participatory notes. All these things are there, no? Okay. Now here this FDI is there, no? Okay. They'll either be they'll try to invest in listed companies or unlisted companies, okay. They'll try to invest in the capital, okay, equity, debentures, like these things, okay. They are not any loans, they are coming to invest their capital in our country, okay. Now let's see the options. It is the investment through capital instruments, essentially in a listed companies. This statement is partially correct, okay. It is not listed companies, it is unlisted companies also. FDI can invest, it is their money, wherever they like, they'll try to invest, okay, listed or unlisted. So first statement is wrong. Now see, it is largely non-debt creating capital flow. See here, it is not creating any debt because they are coming and investing, okay. It is there on their interest, and of course capital is flowing to our country. So this is the major characteristics of FDI, okay. Let's see the other statements also. It is the investment which involves debt servicing. See here, it is non-debt, that means if there is no debt, how there will be debt servicing? That means interest payments. So even this statement is wrong, right? Now see, it is the investment made by foreign institutional investors, FIIs, in the government securities. See here friends, not only in government securities, okay. This FDI is there, no? FDI is generally not allowed in government securities, okay. They are mostly associated with portfolio investments, okay. These things, not on the this government securities, okay. So see here, remember this, government securities are bought by FIIs and FPIs, okay. So this statement is wrong, answer is B. Now see what we have to read, friends. See, we got here, right? We have to know the difference between FDI, FPI, FII, okay. So that means we have to read the external sector is there, no? We have to read from our conventional sources, whichever book you follow, either Amazing, Vivek Singh or Munal Sar notes. In that it is clearly dealt, okay. Let's read from there, okay. We'll try to revise that basic things of external sector chapter, okay. Coming to 52nd question. With reference to international trade of India at present, which of the following statements are correct? India's merchandise exports are less than its merchandise imports. See friends, in our country, the share of merchandise is very less. We are mostly we are service sector based country. In our GDP, 56% of contribution is from service sector only, more than 50%, and almost merchandise, that means manufacturing units, all these things are there, no? The secondary sector is only contributing to 28 to 30%. Okay, so we are merchandise importers, not exporters. So this statement is correct. Okay, now see, India's imports of iron and steel, chemicals, fertilizers, and machinery have decreased in recent years. No, friends, all these things are increasing day by day. Okay, so second statement is wrong. See, friends, iron and steel, they are very much important in the development of a nation, in the infrastructure, all these things. So India is developing its infrastructure. So we are importing all these things. Even fertilizers also we are importing because of Russia-Ukraine war. We are now facing the urea crisis in most of the states. In Telangana also, urea crisis is there. Okay, so second statement is wrong. No, India's exports of services are more than its import of services. Yes, this statement is correct. Right? Now see, India suffers from overall trade or current account deficit. Yes, friends, India is facing current account deficit. Okay. Now see here, answer should be 1, 3 and 4. Okay, but what happened, UPSC has cancelled this question. Okay, maybe reasons can be anything, but these things are correct. Okay, please remember this. Now, see whether this answer is D or not anything. Please keep it aside. What UPSC is asking, we have to focus upon. See here, it is asking about exports, right? See iron and steel, fertilizers, chemicals, machineries, all these things. See services also. Okay, current account deficit also. I hope you have seen many mains questions are also asked directly on current account deficit, capital account deficit, right? How to overcome with all these things. Okay, you have to read upon these things. Let it go with the answer. Okay, UPSC may cancel this question. It can do anything, but what UPSC is focused upon is very important. Okay, it is focusing upon trade of India, right? External sector, very important. And see, in economic survey, all this data will be there now, so we have to read those things. Okay, now coming to 53rd question. The term West Texas Intermediate, sometimes found in news, refers to a grade of. Here, friends, the answer is crude oil. Okay, see, there are two types of. Generally, there are two types of crude oils. Okay, one is West Texas Intermediate. Okay, this is of US grade, and the other is Brent. Okay, this is mainly European. Okay, all these are benchmarks of a grade of oil. Okay, maybe it was in news at that time. That's why it may have asked this question. Now what we have to do? See here, we have to read about this crude oil. Okay, he is asking about bullion also. That means gold. These precious things are there. No, it will come. They will come under bullion, currency, all these things. Right? And see, rare earth metals. Of course, now China has made restrictions in exporting of these rare earth metals. Right? So it is there in news. So we have to read about it. Right? Of course, uranium is very important. Recently, we have found uranium reserves in Jammu and Kashmir as well. Right? So these things are in news now. We'll try to read about all these things, friends. Okay, please remember West Texas Intermediate and this Brent is there now. These are the grades of crude oil. Maybe UPSC will ask about this. Okay, now coming to 54th question. In the context of Indian economy, non-financial debt includes which of the following? See, friends, in a simply words, I'll tell. Financial debt is means what? Any debt which is there with the banks or banking institutions. Okay, non-financial means anything related to non-banking institution. That means debt. That means here banks are involved in financial debt. Bank will be taking the loans. Non-financial debt means apart from banks, if any person is taking loan or if any person is taking the amount, okay, they will be coming under non-financial debts. Okay, let's see here. Housing loans owned by households. See here, loans are owned by households, so even this will come under non-financial debt. Okay, amounts outstanding on credit cards. Okay, these are also individuals or own no credit cards. They have to repay the credit card bills. So even this is also there. Now see, treasury bills. These are private debts. Okay, that means which are owned by other than governments, other than banks. Okay, now see, treasury bills. That means what? Government is taking the loan from people or any other person who is investing in treasury bills. Okay, who is taking treasury bills. So even this is also come under financial, non-financial debt. This is called public debt. Okay, so the answer is 1, 2, and 3. Okay, friends. So please remember financial debt and non-financial debt. We understood the difference, right? These are owned by banks. These are owned by other individuals, either individuals or private companies, even government. Okay, and then these will be there. Very basic question only. Nothing much to discuss about it. So what happened? What is important now? This banking sector. Okay, financial instruments. I think in 2024 also UPSC has asked about money market instruments. Okay, stock market instruments. Right. These basic things UPSC is focusing on. We'll try to read about it. It will be there in our books, right? We'll try to read that chapter. Coming to 55th question. In India, why are some nuclear reactors kept under IAEA safeguards while others are not. See, friends, this IAEA is there, no? This organization monitors the export of uranium or import of uranium. Okay, that means, see, if we are using nuclear power plants, which are the fuel which we are using for nuclear power plants, if we are importing, then they will be coming under IAEA safeguards. Okay, but of course, there will be a domestic supplies also. We may have our own uranium reserves, or we may use thorium or plutonium, whatever we like, right? So whichever we are importing for our nuclear uses, that means either civilian or military, they will be coming under IAEA safeguards. Okay, so see here, some some use imported uranium and others use domestic supplies. Okay, this is the exact answer. Okay, now see friends, we have seen many questions on IAEA. Additional protocol also one question has come now, right? So we have to read about IAEA. Okay, it was established in 1957. Its headquarters is in Vienna, Austria. Right, please remember this. And see, this IAEA is there, no? It will be checking in three areas. Okay, one is safety and security, right? And also the science and technology safeguards, right? And the verification of these units. Okay, now see, we have to read about IAEA and its additional protocols and whatever related to IAEA also we have to read, friends. And see, uranium, nuclear power, very very important. So we have to read about those as well. India's nuclear power program is there, no? I have shared my science and technology short notes in the Telegram channel. Hope you will find it there. Okay, you can see the reference. I have written almost in a short way our nuclear power program. Okay, you can revise from there also. Right? Now, coming to 56th question. With reference to trade related investment measure streams, which of the following is are correct? Okay. Quantitative restrictions on imports by foreign investors are prohibited. See, friends, these streams is there, no? It will protect the investors. Okay, so they want a level playing field for domestic players and also investors also. See, some countries they try to boost their own domestic players by discouraging foreign investors. Okay, even their money is also should be safeguarded, right? So this streams is there, no? This organization, right? This agreement or any rules, what they will do, they'll try to create a level playing field between the domestic players and also the foreign investors. So see, quantitative restrictions on the imports are prohibited because see, when we are open to the market and now we are placing this quantitative restrictions, that means what, we are discouraging that other person to import in our country, right? See, it is not about anti-dumping type. Okay, we should not create these type of barriers to the foreign investors. Okay, in order to give preferences to the domestic players. So yes, this statement is correct. Now, they apply to investment measures related to trade in both goods and services. No, friends, it is on goods only. See, quantitative restrictions. Okay, it is not on the services, it is on goods. Okay, so this is also wrong. All these are basic questions on trims. Okay, these are the points under this agreement. Okay, now they are not concerned with the regulation of foreign investment. See, friends, in India will be making rules that in this sector only 49% of foreign investment is allowed, or 24% is allowed, or 51% is allowed, right? Or 74 or 75% is allowed. Like this is there, no? It will not be dealing about these things. Okay, once if you have given the permission to them, you should not restrict again. Okay, so this we are allowed. Answer is 1 and 3, friends. Okay, these are just simple statements regarding TRIPS. Now what we have to do? We have to read about this TRIPS agreement. Okay, very very important. And also everything related to trades. Our these things are also there, no? WTO, right? Which are also related to these trade organizations are there, no? We have to read it, very very important, friends. Okay, UPSC is focusing more on these things. Right, now see, this regulation of foreign market is there, no? They are done by Department of Promotion and Industry and Internal Trade, friends. Our department is there, no? DPIIT. It will be dealing of these things. Okay, and the law is made is FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act. Okay, see, remember these things. Okay, let's try to read about trade related, that means external sector. These things are very important. See here, all the questions are from external sector only, right? Now see, this question is from banking sector, right? Now see, we are coming to 57th question. Yeah, 56 complete. Yeah, 57. If RBI decides to adopt an expansionist monetary policy, which of the following would it not do? See here, it's telling RBI want to do expansionist and is asking what it not do. That means, see here, it should not be expansionist policy, whichever the option is there. That means what? Option should be related to tight monetary policy. Okay, see here friends, we have to do this double negation here only, or else see, we know UPSC is asking about not. We know UPSC is not asking about expansionist policy, but in the examination hall, these things will not come into our mind. Okay, it will be there consciously, we'll be reading, but subconsciously we'll mark the answer related to expansionist policy. Okay, since because this statement is there, no, it will be there in our mind, in the subconscious it will get fixed. Okay, so before reading the statements only, we should write like this. Okay, the option should be related to tight money policy. Okay, because I have made this type of mistakes in the exam, I don't want you people to do this type of mistakes. That's why I'm telling all these things. Okay, friends. Now see, now what? Now we know that option should be related to tight monetary policy. Okay, keep this in mind. That's it. You do these things in the first itself before reading the statements, because if we read the statements, somehow we don't know, our mind will be working that way only. It will mark the expansionist policy option only. Okay, because of that, maybe examination stress or time management also will be there, no? Okay, all these things will be happening. We lose 2 marks very unnecessarily. I've done these type of mistakes in the before exam. That's why I'm telling you. Now let's see the options which are related to tight monetary policy. See, cut and optimize statutory liquidity ratio. That means what? If you are cutting, banks will be having more amount with them. So that means what? Expansionary policy, monetary policy only. So this is not the answer. Now see, increase the marginal standing facility rate. That means what? We are making this marginal standing facility rate higher. That means the demand on money will be increasing. That means the money supply will also reduces. Okay, because of this, interest rates will be increased, right? So people take very less things. Okay, monitor. We are cutting the money flow. So yes, this statement is correct. So it should be there in the answer. One should not be there. See, if one is not there, we are getting the answer directly. Okay, now see, cut the bank rate and repo rate. See here, by doing this also, money supply will be increasing. Right? So the answer is 2 only. Okay, now see here friends, we have to read about this expansionist policy, tight money policy, RBI inflation targeting, okay, and all these things, statutory liquidity ratio, CRR, SLR, C marginal standing facility rate, okay, bank rate, repo rate, okay, these are basics of banking sector only, right? So we have to read about these things, friends. Okay, now coming to 58th question. With reference to Indian economy after 1991 economic liberalization, consider the following statements. Okay, worker productivity rupees per worker at 2004 to 2005 prices increased in urban areas while it decreased in rural areas. See, friends, this statement is partially correct. Okay, after 1991 economic liberalization, see here, we are talking about economic liberalization. It is a good thing which happened in India. We got open to our world market, and now we are developing because of those policies. Okay, it can be anything. I'm not talking any political statements here. Okay, we got globalized. Okay, our market got globalized. Okay, it can be compulsion or it can be a thoughtful decision. We are not talking about it. Okay, that means this is the positive phenomena which happened in our country. So the consequences should also be positive. Right? See here, even in rural areas also, worker productivity has increased. It has not decreased. Okay, so this statement is wrong. Now let's see the other. Percentage share of rural areas in workforce steadily increased. No friends, because of this economic liberalization, there is a mobility between the workforce. Okay, from the primary sector, people have moved to the secondary sectors and also service sector. Okay, so even this statement is also wrong. Now see, in rural areas, the growth in non-farm economy increased. See, non-farm economics means what? People are maintaining dairy farms, okay, animal husbandries, horticulture. All these things have added up to the agriculture sector, farming activities. Okay, so the growth in non-farm economy also increased because we are number one in this horticulture, okay, fruit production, all these things, right? So this statement is also correct. Sorry, this statement is correct. Okay, so here we are diversifying the agriculture income, agriculture activities. Doubling of farmer income in that also. These statements are there. Okay, I hope you remember that committee name. If you know, please let me know in the comment section. Which committee has talked about doubling of farmers' income? Okay, now the growth rate in rural employment decreased. Here, friends, this is also correct. The growth rate in rural employment has decreased. Okay, see, the rate of becoming negative in the period from 2005 to 2012. Okay, that means it indicates the slowdown in the creation of jobs in the rural areas. Okay, because of this economic liberalization, jobs are created very less. Okay, the answer is 3 and 4. See, if you don't know about the fourth statement also, we know first statement is wrong. Okay, and we know third statement is correct. Right? We are left with 50-50 options, 50%. Okay, even by in this case also, you try to attempt these type of questions when you are not in a position to do between two options. Okay, this is somewhat better. We got 50% of chance of getting correct answer. Okay, but we know the rural employment, that growth rate is very less. Why? Because we are not creating jobs there. India is going through jobless growth, right? Because we are focusing on service sector more. The people are very less, but contribution to GDP is very more. Okay, if you don't want jobless growth, we should focus on secondary sector and primary sector more. Now India is doing that, right? So answer is B. Right? So what we have to do? We have to read about this Indian economy, mainly the trends. Okay, what happens about after 1991 economic liberalization. Okay, these are there in our conventional sources. Let's try to revise this topic from there. Okay, now coming to 59th question. Consider the following statements. In the terms of short-term credit delivery to the agriculture sector, district central cooperative banks (DCCBs) deliver more credit in comparison to scheduled commercial banks and regional rural banks. Now, friends, scheduled commercial banks, they play a key role in the rural developments. Okay, they are almost like 70 to 80% of these credit service delivery is there. No, it is done through scheduled commercial banks and regional rural banks only. Okay, this contribution of DCCB is very less compared to these things. DCCB is contributing almost like 15 to 20% only. Okay, so first statement is wrong. Now, one of the most important functions of DCCBs is to provide funds to primary agriculture credit societies. This statement is correct, friends, because these are giving loans to the people and they will be getting the funding from DCCBs. Okay, and these DCCB, they will be getting funding from state cooperative banks. Okay, they will be refinancing to DCCBs, and DCCB will be offering the credit to PSCs. Okay, these DCCBs are in the intermediate level. Okay, so the answer is 2. Right, now see, we have to read about this cooperative structure. 3-tier cooperative structure is there: state cooperative banks, okay, DCCBs, PSCs, right? And also NABARD is also there in the refinance sector, okay, especially for the agriculture and the development of the rural areas. Okay, so these credit systems are there. No, we have to read, friends. Okay, it is there in our books, right? So we'll try to revise from there. This is the basic question only, right? Now coming to 60th question. In India, under cyber insurance for individuals, which of the following benefits are generally covered in addition to payment for the loss of funds and other benefits? Okay, cyber, it is asking about cyber insurance. See, if we are now using all the digital devices, right? If we get hacked, okay, this cyber insurance will help us, okay, in retrieving our data, okay, in getting the legal services being done, okay, in getting the justice also, all these things. Now let's see the statements. The cost of restoration of computer system in case of malware disrupting access to one's computer. Yes, friends. This is covered. Okay. Now, the cost of new computer if some miscreant willfully damages it if proved so. See friends, if any malware attack us, okay. Now what we'll do? We may ask government that okay, I don't want to use this one. I don't want any restoration or repair. I want to buy new one. Please give me the amount. Okay, that means what? See, it is not covered in this insurance. We are giving only insurance to the cyber protection. Okay, we'll try to retrieve the data that cost whichever is incurred. We'll do, but new computer it will not damage. It is focusing on software servicing. Okay, not hardware. Okay, any devices repair, all these things are there. No hardware thing, it will not do. This insurance does not cover it. So second statement is wrong. See here. If you know 2 is wrong, directly answer is 1, 3, and 4. Okay, people call this as elimination technique, but one should know that this statement is wrong. Then only this will work. Okay, it's truly not elimination technique in a way, right? We should know about this thing that it does not cover hardware damages. Okay, and does not cover any new system purchasing or all these things, right? Awesome. The cost of hiring a specialized consultant to minimize the loss in case of cyber extortion. Yes, this cost of hiring the specialized consultants. Okay, even in see here, cost of defense in court of law, right? These are also covered in the cyber insurance, right? So answer is 1, 3, and 4. Okay, see here, friends, this insurance is there now, right? It is regulated by IRDAI, the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. Okay, now see what we have to read. We have to read about cyber security, right? Cyber insurance, cyber security mission is also there. Okay, recent developments which are all there. No, all these things we have to read, friends. Okay, even CERT, this is the organization which is truly working on this cyber security. Okay, they will be providing all these things. Okay, they will be giving this technological assistance. They will be given by CERT. Right, so we have to read all these things, friends. Very, very important. Now coming to 61 question. In India, which of the following can be considered as public investment in agriculture? Public investment in agriculture. Okay, now see, fixing minimum support price for agriculture produce of all crops. You see here we are dealing with public investments. What is the meaning of investment? That means if we invest something, that means if we put our money on something in a short term or a long term period, it should give something back to us. Okay, we should get something back from it, either in the form of wages, okay, interest, dividend, okay, anything. Now see what we are doing. We are giving minimum support price. It is like a subsidy to the farmers, right? So there is no return on it. Okay, I'm not talking about society point of view. Okay, it is very helpful welfare activity only, but we are talking in the investment point of view. Okay, so first statement is wrong. Now see, computerization of primary agriculture credit societies. Here friends, we are investing some capital in it, right? PACS. There what we can do after computerizing, we can tax them. Okay, everything will be coming into the digital transparency. Okay, accountability will be there, right? And even transparency will be there. Okay, we can track the records, all those things. Okay, prices also, right? So this will be the investment, and the return will be in the form of taxes or a service delivery to the people, right? Even the government will also be benefited, and farmers will also be benefited because of this. Okay, unification of all these PACs, ENAM, all these things will be correctly done, right? So this is also investment. Now see, social capital development, that means human resource management, okay, people relations, harmony in the society, all these things, it will create a stability in the system and it will drive the economy, right? So and third statement is also correct, right? Now see, free electricity supply to the farmers. Free electricity supply, it is like giving subsidy only, no? What will be getting again in return in this? So even fourth statement is wrong, right? See, if you know first statement is wrong, we directly got the answer. 2, 3, and 6. Now let's see. Waiver of agriculture loans. See here, friends, this is burden on taxpayers, right? See, people are giving taxes to government and they are waiving the agricultural loans, right? And if government needs any amount for any development activities, what it will do? Either it will increase the taxes, or it will give it will do anything again from the taxpayers only. Again, they should only supply the money, or else it will take some external debt. Okay, in the debt servicing also it is done by this our public money only, right? See, even this is also not part of an investment. Now see, setting up of cold storage facilities. See, by doing this, what will happen? Agriculture produce they will not damage if there is if there are not conducive prices in the market. What they will do? They'll try to store in the cold storage facilities, and whenever the market comes into favorable conditions, then they will try to sell their produce. In this way, their income is also increasing. Okay, it will be acting as an investment, right? We are getting in written in on it. So this is also correct. See, basic question only. It is asking mainly if you know the just basic meaning of investment, we can answer this type of questions. Okay. Now coming to 62nd question. What is the importance of the term interest coverage ratio of a firm in India? See, here, friends, interest coverage ratio is nothing but, see, they'll be looking at our salary or our income, okay, and they'll try to calculate that whether this person, if he takes loan, he'll be in a position to repay our interest or not, repay our loans or not. Okay, it is income by interest payments. Okay, and this should be maximum. Okay, this should be a larger value. So that, see, if our income is very high, right? See, that means what? If income is very high, this ratio will be very high. So we'll be in a good position to take loans. Okay, that means we are in a very good position to repay our interest and repay the loans. Debt servicing is also very easily done. Right? Now see the statements. It helps in understanding the present risk of the firm that a bank is going to give a loan to. Of course, this present risk also we can calculate. Right? Now see, it helps in evaluating the emerging risk of the firm that a bank is going to give loan to. This is also can be done. See here. What we will do? We'll take the past record of the firm. Okay. We'll check these things. Income by interest, this value is there, no? If this is increasing steadily, that means what? Firm is in a very good position. It will be in a very good position to pay us. So we'll try to give the loan. If the firm is, the income ratio is somewhat decreasing, that means what? The risk of having the lesser income will be impacting our debt servicing. If so, banks, what it will do? It will check this income coverage ratio at present value and also its past tense also, right? Whether the company is running in a good position or not, right? See, both things can be done. Now see, the higher a borrowing firm's level of interest coverage ratio, the worse it is ability to service its debt. No, it should be higher. Okay, if this is higher, that means it has the greater ability to service its debt. Okay, and ideally it should be greater than 2.5. Okay, and it should not be less than 1.5. This is the very riskier type of loans which are given by banks to firms. Okay, it should be greater than 2.5. Okay, so this is wrong. Answer is 1 and 2. Right, so nothing much to discuss about. Here only the definitions are given. Right, so we'll try to read about this interest coverage ratio I have said. No, it is the ratio between the income and the interest obligations. Okay, debt servicing, all these things. Okay, we got the 2 points here. We know it should be greater value, and we know the values of it should be either greater than 2.5 and should not be less than 1.5. Right, so let's go to the 63rd question. Which of the following factors or policies were affecting the price of rice in India in the recent past? Affecting means either it can be positive effect, that means rising of prices, or a negative effect. Both the things. Okay, now let's see the options. Minimum support price. Yes, minimum support price also. It will have its impact. Okay, see, sometimes if government is giving higher minimum support price to them, so prices will be increasing. Right, that means the cost of production was greater. That's why they have put higher MSP. If cost of production has reduced, okay, because of any other reduction in the inputs, okay, what it will come? MSP also will be less, and also price levels will be regulated. Okay, so this is also there. Now government's trading, of course, if government is taking the amount, or if it is adding the buffer stock to the prices, okay, if it is taking into buffer stock, excess production is there, no, right? That means what? It is regulating the prices. When the prices are very high, the government gives the buffer stock so that the demand will be suppressed, right? In this way also we can regulate the price. Now see, government's stockpiling, if there is excess in the market, the prices will be lowering down, right? So demand will be reduced because of the larger supply. What will then government, what it will do? It will try to create buffers at that time. So it will create some sort of shortage, not shortage, but it will be regulating the market by using stockpiling, so that the prices level does not fall to a very uh, extreme levels, okay, which impacts the farmers. So even this way also it can do. Now see, consumer subsidies also. See, if there are larger prices, how can normal middle class or lower middle class people can afford them? Through ration shops, what we'll do? We'll try to provide the consumers in a subsidized price, so that they can buy and they can use this price, okay, to manage their basic needs. So the answer is all of the above. Very basic question, friends. Okay, right? It's just asking whether which is impacting the price of rice, either positive or negative. Right? Now, see here. If we keep all these things aside, we have to read about MSPs. Right? See here, government trading and stockpiling. It is done by FCA. So APMCs, all these things are there. No, this food chain marketing. Right? Input. See, from the input side, okay, production side, output side, marketing side, all these things. This is the chain, right? So we have to read everything about these things. Okay, whichever topics are there, no, in agriculture, all these things are very important. And see here, he is asking about rice, most important kharif crop. UPSC has asked many questions on rice also, right? So we have to read about all these things, and especially agriculture chapter is very important from economic point of view, geography point of view, and environment point of view as well. Okay, now coming to 64th question. Consider the following statements. The value of Indo-Sri Lanka trade has consistently increased in the last decade. See friends, this type of statements are there, no? They are usually wrong. Okay, she is telling consistently increasing in the decade. That means 10 years. Okay, in some or the other, there will be some sort of decreasing rate. Okay, it was peak in 2013 and 2014 it seems. Okay, later there was few fluctuations. Okay, so this statement is wrong. See, this statement, it cannot be found in any books. Okay, we have to know just UPSC has made this statement to make it wrong. Okay, consistently, drastically. Okay, now see the second statement. Textile and textile articles constitute an important item of trade between India and Bangladesh. Yes, friends, this statement is exactly true. Okay, cotton is one of the largest export items. Okay, from India to Bangladesh. We are exporting cotton to Bangladesh. Okay, and also what we are doing? We are exporting cotton, right? And we are importing garments and textile products. Okay, we are exporting our cotton and making cheap goods there. Cheap labor is available. Okay, so we are producing garments and textile products in a cheaper way, and we are importing to our nation. Okay, so second statement is wrong. Correct. Now, in the last 5 years, Nepal has been the largest trading partner of India in South Asia. See, friends, it is not Nepal, it is Bangladesh. Okay, so third statement is also wrong. Answer is 2. So, friends, we have seen many questions on external sector, especially regarding exports, okay, imports, okay, and between the countries. This question is about India's neighborhood, right? So what we have to do? We have to read in the economic survey. These external sectors, what the exports and imports, these things will be there. No, we'll try to read about this in the basic way only. Okay, we cannot remember all these things, but at least we'll try to read. Okay, these are very simple questions. If you know, see here one is wrong, right? And if you know this textiles articles, India is exporting cotton to Bangladesh, so definitely we'll mark this statement correct. So these basic things, it will be there in the economic survey. Okay, now coming to 65th question. In which one of the following groups are all 4 countries members of G20? Okay, this question is about membership of G20, friends. Okay, very tricky question. Sometimes see, these are 20 means what? We have to remember all these 20 members. Right, there are 19 countries, one European Union, and recently African Union also joined because of India's uh, mediatorship or India's push. Right, now see, let's see the options. Argentina, yes, it is present. Okay, Mexico is also present. South Africa and Turkey, these are present. Answer is 1, friends. Okay, simple question. If we don't know about it, we cannot answer this question. Okay, see here in this, in the second option, Malaysia is not there. Okay, and see here also Vietnam is not there. Okay, Singapore is not there. Right, of course South Korea is also not there, I think so. Yeah, South Korea is there. Japan is there. Indonesia is there. Yeah, South Korea is here. Singapore is not there. Here Vietnam is not there. Here Malaysia is not there. Okay, earlier it was G8, it became G7, and to that now G20. Okay, Russia is not there in G7. Okay, before if when Russia was there, it was called G8, but in G20 Russia is there. Okay, please remember this. Right? Now, see here, friends. G20 is very very important. In the recent papers also we have seen one question on G20, right? Of course, India hosted G20 summit recently in New Delhi, right? Now see, so G20 becomes very very important. We'll try to read about it, friends. And also all the other organizations are there. G20, Shanghai Corporation, and Indian organizations as well, like BIMSTEC, okay, BBIN, the SARC, all these things are there. No, we'll try to read about these organizations. Of course, they'll be present in our conventional sources. We'll revise from there, friends. Okay, now coming to 66th question. Under CSAT credit card scheme, short-term credit support is given to farmers for which of the following purposes? Here, friends, he himself is telling KCC, this scheme is there, no? It is focusing on short-term credit support. That means mostly it will be on working capital only. Okay, that means not permanent things, on working capitals. Right, now let's see the statements. Working capital, see working capital for maintenance of farm assets. Yes, short-term credits, these are short-term requirements only. They are perishable. Again, we need to purchase them, not like capital goods. Now see, purchase of combined harvesters, tractors, mini trucks. See, these are not working capital goods. Right? These are long-term capital goods. Okay, we can use it for many years, and also they are very costly. Right? And short-term credit does not give that much amount of loans. So, second statement is wrong. See here, 2, 2. Answer is 1, 3, and 4. Okay, if you know that second statement is wrong, you are getting to the answer. Okay, this is not elimination techniques. We should know that Kisan Credit Card, this card scheme is there, no? It is focusing on short-term credit. That means very little amount. That too for a daily or some working capital needs. Well, like what you see, it will give loans. Okay, for suppose if you own a tractor and you want some amount of loan to run a tractor, okay, on your field, it you can take loan and you can use for the fuel or for the driver, for the renting purposes, all these things. But it will not give amount to buy a tractor. Okay, now see. Now see third statement. Consumption requirements. See, consumption requirements. These are short-term requirements. Okay, like a working capital only. So even third statement is correct. See, post-harvest expenses. That means marketing, transportations, like these things are which are needed to. So they are also covered. See, construction of family house. This is a long-term and large. This is capital intensive, right? And short-term loans are there, no? Shorter credit system. They'll give only little amount only, not for capital or long-term investments. Okay, so even price also basic question only, friends. Nothing much to discuss about it. We need to know about short-term credit support and long-term credit support. And also, see here, UPSC is asking about credit card, Kisan credit card scheme, right? That means let's try to read about the schemes which are related to farmers, right? Especially the agriculture sector, whichever schemes are there now, all these things become very important. UPSC has asked about this. Okay, soil health card scheme also, UPSC we have seen question on it. So there are many other schemes, right? Contemporary also new schemes are coming. So we'll try to read about all those things, friends. Centrally sector or center sponsored, all these things we have to remember. Now, coming to 67th question. Consider the following statements. The weightage of food in consumer price index is higher than that in wholesale price index. Yes, friends, it is higher. Here in the food and beverages part is there, no? It is 45% in CPI. Okay, in WPI, it is really less. It is somewhat like some 25%. Okay, approximately I'm telling 25%. So, yes, that means what? First statement is correct. Now see. WTI does not capture changes in prices of services which CPI does. Yes, WPI, this is wholesale price index rate. It is dealing with goods only. Okay, but CPI caters both goods and services. So, statement 2 is also correct. See, these are basic things about CPI and WPI, right? Reserve Bank of India has now adopted WPI. No, it adopted CPI combined. Okay, both rural and urban as its key measure of inflation to decide on changing the key policy rates. He is asking about monetary policy only, inflation targeting. Right? So answer is what? 1 and 2. Now see friends, we have to read about CPI, WPI, okay, its base years and everything. It will be there in our conventional sources in the tabular form also there, in vivexing it is there. Okay, and whichever source you are following, you try to read about these indices. Okay, CPI, WPI, CPI rural combined, what are the base years? Okay, agriculture, labor, all these things are there now. We have to read about these friends. And also, see here, this Reserve Bank has adopted CPI combined rate. It was done by Raghuram Rajan, okay, in 2014. Okay, he was RBI governor. He adopted CPI combined for inflation targeting. Okay, for better results. Right? So, see RBI, Monetary Policy Committee, and CPI, WPA. And these are basic things only. It will be there in our conventional sources. It's revised from there. Okay. Wherever notes is required, I'll try to make notes and I'll share in the Telegram channel. Okay. Whichever things are coming from conventional sources, let's try to revise from there only. It will add up. It will add to our preparation like a memory analysis. Okay, like memory map. Okay, we can revise it very quickly. If we know, if we are read from some other book, we can it it will help in recollection part. Okay, in the examination. That means I have read in that book. Your diagram will be like this. There was a table diagram like this. Okay, this will add up to our preparation itself. Okay, so that's why I'm telling, whichever source you are following, you try to read from there itself. Coming to 60th question. Consider the following pairs: rivers and flows into. That means he's asking about where these rivers are getting drained. Right? See. Mekong, Mekong River. We have seen there was question on Mekong River, right? Mekong Ganga Cooperation. There is one PYQ is also there. Now see, this flows into not Andaman Sea, it flows into South China Sea. See here, UPSC has asked about Mekong here, and later it has asked about Mekong Ganga Cooperation, and also it has asked about countries which Mekong River is flowing. Okay, it is giving hints in the previous papers, right? So what we have to do, we have to read about this Mekong River. Okay, there its countries, its origin, and also see here Andaman Sea is also present. So we have to read about Andaman Sea, and of course this is wrong. So what is the answer? South China Sea. Of course, this is in news. South China Sea, China is claiming its territorial extension in the South China Sea, and for the countering of it only we are formed Quad. Right? So these things are very important and interconnected. We have to read about Mekong, Andaman Sea, its locations, and South China Sea. Right? These are places. Okay, we have to read about all these things because UPSC may ask about these things in the later papers in detail. Thames River. See this Thames River flows through London. London is in the on the banks of Thames River only. Okay, it flows into North Sea. Okay, see here UPSC has asked about question into 2024 on North Sea, right? What are the bordering countries? See here, UPSC is giving us few hints, and later it is asking questions on those things only. Right? Now see, Irish Sea is also there, so we have to read about Irish Sea as well. Right? Now see, Volga, it is the largest river in the Russia, which drains into Caspian Sea. This is correct? Now, Zambezi River, okay, this is also one of the most important river in African, mainly the southern part of Africa. Okay, it is the fourth longest river in Africa, and it flows through Mozambique, and it flows into Indian Ocean only. Okay, not to Atlantic Ocean. Please remember this. Right? So even fourth statement is also correct. Okay, answer is 3 and 4. So here friends, UPSC is asking about river systems, mainly the other countries' river system. The most important rivers will be there, no? See, Volga, Russia's important river, Thames, London's important river, Zambezi, it's the fourth largest river in Africa. Okay, Mekong is also a very important river in Southeast Asia. Right, it is also 11th largest river in the world. Okay, and also biodiversity is also very good. After Amazon, Mekong River has the largest biodiversity, it seems. Okay, especially in the fish species. Okay, so all the significances are very important, and we'll try to read about other important rivers, mainly European rivers, Danube, Dniester. Okay, even in the USA also Mississippi River is there, no? Right? We'll try to revise all those river systems, especially the mapping series of Sudarshan Gurjar sir, or in the Sarthi's Pallavi madam is also teaching. Okay, you watch any of these videos. Okay, I have watched the videos of Sudarshan Gurjar sir. It helped me a lot. Okay, of course, Pallavi madam in Sarthya is also, she is also making this video series. Okay, you can revise from there also. Okay, so coming to 69th question. Consider the following statements. In the case of all cereals, pulses and oilseeds, procurement at minimum support price is unlimited in any state of UT. See, first thing, we are giving for 23 crops only. Okay, in these cereals also we are giving to, in this 23 there are only 7 cereal crops. Okay, not all. In oil seeds also there are 8. Okay, in pulses there are 5 only. He's telling all cereals, oil pulses, oil seeds, and also there is unlimited. Okay, for the government also there is some limit where it can procure. Okay, not unlimited. Only for the limited buffer stock will be there. No, for that case only government tries to purchase at minimum support price. Okay, there is nothing unlimited like that. Okay, so first statement is wrong. Of course, it is in the face of statement only we are seeing the extreme statements here. Extreme notations are added in it. Now coming to the second statement. In the case of cereals and pulses, the MSP is fixed in any state UT at a level of which the market price will never rise. See, market price will never rise. See why we have introduced MSP? Because if the market price are very low, okay, at least farmers should be getting this price in the market so that they can survive and they can do agriculture again for the coming seasons. Okay, if the market is at demand, so definitely the market price will be very much higher than this MSP. So what farmers will do? They'll sell at market price only to either private players or any other people. Okay. So here the provision is there that whether market price is upper or lower, we'll introduce this MSP so that farmers should get at least the minimum income for them for their survival. Okay, so even second statement is also wrong. Answer is neither one, not two. Okay, friends. See here, we have to read everything about MSP. I've said no. Dr. UPSC on YouTube channel is there. In that, in one video, he has explained everything about MSP, whichever is very important for UPSC prelims and mains, both the ways. Okay, please watch that video. It will be there in Dr. UPSC YouTube channel, right? And of course, there are many content made on MSP, and also it is part of our any conventional sources. Also, it is dealt very detailed. Okay, we'll try to read from there. Okay, mainly this focuses on farmers to not do distress sales. Okay, and also this is at this price our government will be purchasing them and it will be giving this PDS. Okay, even food security is also there, and farmers also income security is also given, right? And see, we have seen one PYQ that MSP is recommended by CSCP, right? Recommended by CSCP, but announced by CCEA. CSCP, Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices. CSCP, it recommends, only recommends. Okay, and it is announced by CCEA, that is Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Okay, and for sugarcane, it is called FRP. Okay, fair and remunerative prices. Okay, and so now we have seen there are 23 crops, so we have to know which are the crops covered in MSP, because UPSC is asking these type of questions. Okay, either this is covered in or not. It may ask about other crops, and it may ask whether it is covered on it or not. Okay, so let's read about this. Right, coming to 70th question. With reference to Indian economy, consider the following statements. Commercial paper is a short-term unsecured promissory note. Yes, friends, it is a short-term commercial paper promissory note where companies, okay, without any securities, okay, they will try to take loans from the banks. Okay, these are very risky loans. Okay, short-term obligations only. Okay, this is like a promissory note that company will ask the bank that please give me the loan. I will be repaying in some short-term period only, like below 1 year. Okay, so first statement is correct. Now see, certificate of deposit is a long term. It is not a long term, it is also short term only. Okay, and see, instrument issued by Reserve Bank of India. It is not by Reserve Bank of India. These are issued by either banks or financial institutions. Okay, to the investors or corporations. Okay, these are also short term loans only. Right? So this statement is wrong. Now see, call money is a short term finance used for interbank transactions. This statement is correct, friends. When other bank is facing this shortages, it will ask the other banks to refinance that in few days only. It will try to pay back in few days. If there are any overnight issues with the money supply rate, so this banks will take from the loans from other banks, and it is called call money. Okay, so 1 and 3 are correct. Of course, we got the answer 1 and 3. 1 should be there. Only 2 options are there, so these 2 are gone. And 2, we know 2 is wrong. Answer is 1 and 3. Right, now let's go to the fourth statement. Zero coupon bonds. Zero coupon. That means there will be no interest payments on it. Right, now see, are the interest bearing short term bonds. These are not interest bearing. Okay, and of course they are short term bonds only. Okay, issued by scheduled commercial banks. Yes, to corporations. This is also correct. What we will do, there will be this bond is there, no, maturity value will be 100. Okay, what they will do, they will sell in a discounted price. Okay, they'll sell in 90 rupees or 80 rupees, and when the maturity time period is come, they will be getting 100 rupees. Okay, this margin is there, no, this is the profit. There will be no interest or anything. Right, so answer is 1 and 3. Now see here, friends, we have seen many questions regarding short term and long term instruments, right? So we have to read all these things which are comes under this short term loans, right, and long term loans, right? These bonds, all these things are there, no, we have to read about all these things, friends. It will be there in our economic textbook. Okay, these are very basic things only. We'll try to revise these topics from there. Okay, coming to 71st question. With reference to cultural history of India, consider the following pairs. Okay, Parivrajaka, renunciant and wanderer. This statement is correct, friends. Okay, this person is there, no, he'll renounce the worldly activities, and he'll try to build up his philosophical or spiritual knowledge, and he'll be wandering across the cities and across the any areas. Okay, he'll be spreading this spirituality. Okay, he doesn't have any home for himself. Okay, so first statement is correct. No, Shramana, a priest with higher status. No, Shramana is a person who is living a ascetic life. Okay, so he is not a priest with higher status. right? Usually this Ramana is there, no? It refers to renouncers or monks, okay? Mainly followers of Buddhism, Jainism, and also Ajivikas as well. Okay, so second statement is wrong. See here, it is gone, right? Now see here, Upasaka, lay follower of Buddhism. Yes, this statement is also correct, friends. Okay, lay followers are called Upasakas. Okay, who follow the teachings of Buddha. Okay, but they do not take any ascetic life. Okay, so the answer is 1 and 3. See here, friends. Mainly, we have to read about Buddhism, right? We have seen in a Shravana sect also, Buddhism, Jainism, Ajivikas are also there. So we have to read about all these things, right? And also these are term-based questions, right? Even term-based questions are also very important. We have seen there are many questions coming from term-based questions. I've already said no in the Shivin Sir's website. Term-based question PDFs are there. We'll try to revise it, friends. Okay. Now coming to 72nd question. With reference to Indian elephants, consider the following statements. Okay. The leader of elephant group is female. Yes, friends. The oldest female elephant will be there, no? It will be leading the group. Okay, so first statement is correct. Now see, maximum gestation period can be 22 months. See, friends, we may know, we don't, maybe we know or we need not know this, right? So let's keep this aside. We look at the other statements. An elephant can normally go on calving till the age of 40 years only. See, friends, elephants, they live up to 80 to some 80 to 90 years or 70 years like this. Okay. Okay, usually like our human beings only. So he's telling it will bear calving at 40 years only. Right? So here only is there. Okay, somewhat it's looking like a extreme statement, right? Right. So third one is wrong. No, see, even if you don't know this also, let's go to the fourth statement. Among the states in India, the highest elephant population is in Kerala. See, we know it is not Kerala, it is Karnataka. Right? We have introduced Project Elephant, right? In 1992. Okay. So from there, we know the census are being done. In Karnataka itself, there are 28,000 elephants. Okay, approximately it is 25% of the elephants which are there in India. Right? So we know fourth statement is wrong. Now see, remove this. And we know first statement is correct. Answer is 1 and 2. That means what? Elephants will bear the gestation period is there, no? It is 22 months. Okay, maybe this question is tricky. The people who don't know this fourth statement is wrong and first statement is correct. This is very not possible to answer this question correctly. Okay, see here, friends, I have said no. In Karnataka, there are some 6,049. Okay, I think this is the older data. Okay, these many elephants are there. Approximately 25% of the elephants which are there in India. In India, there are almost 28,000 elephants. Okay, now see, we have to read about this Project Elephant. Elephant is very, very important. Okay, there is one World Elephants Day is also there. It is celebrated in 12th August. Okay, so let's read about this Project Elephant reserves. We'll try to make list out of it. In PMFIS, there are the list. Okay, and if you are following any other source, you try to check there. And if there is not there, you can search from the Google as well. Okay, in PMFIS, the maps are there. They will be there in Google also. You can try to read from there. Okay, let's make a list of this mapping. Again, mapping series also, I think Sudarshan Gujar sir, they have made this, and in Pallavi madams also, it is there. Okay, let's try to read about this Project Tigers, Project Elephant, okay, Project Vulture, right? And also recently, UPSC has asked question on cheetahs in 2024, right? So all these things they are very, very important. UPSC is focusing on species a lot in recent examinations. So we'll try to hear about this because these are PYQs. UPSC may ask them again. Right? Coming to 73rd question. Which of the following protected areas are located in Kaveri Basin. See, friends, he's asking about Kaveri Basin. Okay, we may not know what are the national parks or any wildlife sanctuaries which are present in Kaveri Basin, but we know that biosphere reserves is there, no? It is mostly, say, Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. It is mostly there in Kaveri Basin. Okay, between Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka. If you know this, he's asking about Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. This answer is very easy to get. Now see, Papikondalu National Park, it is there in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so 2 is wrong. So remove this. Right? Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve, we have seen one PYQ on it. Right? Where Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats, they get converged. And in that, the answer should be Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. And but particularly he has given this Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve in the options. Okay, so this is part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Right? And of course, Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary is in the Kaveri Basin, and it is in the state of Kerala. Right? So 3 and 4 should be there. See here, 3 and 4, 3 and 4. And see, this Nagarhole National Park is there, no? It is in Karnataka, and it is also under the Kaveri Basin only. Okay, and this Nagarhole National Park is there, no? It is also part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserves. That means simply UPSC is asking about what are the national parks or wildlife sanctuaries which are part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserves. Okay, but it has made a different statement by asking about Kaveri Basin. Okay, see how important this Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve is. We have seen many questions like this, that even Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats, they get converged there. Right? So the answer is, I'll erase this. What's the answer? Answer is 1, 3 and 4. Okay, now see friends, let's read about this Nilgiri Biosphere Reserves and other biosphere reserves as well. And Nagarhole National Park, Papikondalu National Park. We have seen Papikondalu National Park. This is second time or third time it is coming. Of course, Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve is very, very important. And Wayanad Wildlife Sanctuary as well. Okay, let's try to make notes on it. And see, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. Okay, these states are mostly repeated. So what we'll do, we try to read about these national parks and wildlife sanctuaries which are there in these states. Okay, and also we know that the most number of wetlands are there in Tamil Nadu as well. Right? So we'll try to read about wetlands, and whichever national parks are in news also, we'll try to read. This is very, very important. UPSC is focusing more on this, and any coaching institute, they don't try to teach these things. Why? Because they are very trivia things. Because they are nothing much to explain. We have to read on our own by seeing these PYQs. Okay, coming to 74th question. With reference to India's biodiversity, Ceylon frogmouth, coppersmith barbet, grey-chinned minivet, white-throated redstart are. See, friends, if you know these type of questions, okay, if you know the answer, at least one thing or other you are familiar with, you can answer this type of question. But mostly, if you don't know, please don't try to attempt this type of question. But of course, there are few logics where you can apply. Right? This frogmouth, okay, minivet, right, barbet, they are mostly associated with the birds. Mostly associated with birds. Answer is birds, friends. Okay, all these things, all this whichever UPSC has asked now in this question, they are all least concerned only. Okay, I've seen the IUCN status of all these things. All are least concerned only. So there is no chance of knowing them. Right? So this type of question you mostly don't try to attempt. Okay, if you found anything like frogmouth, minivet, barbet, so you can use these type of logics. Okay, so here nothing much to read about it. But what we'll do is the species which they are in use. Okay, we'll try to read about them. Okay, they may help in these type of questions. Right? So, coming to 75th question, last question for this video. Which one of the following protected areas is well known for the conservation of subspecies of Indian swamp deer? Okay, Barasinga, that thrives well on a hard ground and is exclusively graminivorous. Okay, here friends, the answer is Kanha National Park. Okay, and see, this Barasinga is there, no? this Indian swamp deer, it is not only found in Kanha National Park, it is also found in Dudhwa, okay, which is in UP, and Pilbit Tiger Reserve as well. Pilibhit Tiger Reserve. It is also in UP. Okay, this is also in UP. This Kanha is there, no? It is in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, now see, this Barasinga is there, no? It is not indigenous to India. Okay, not endemic to India. It is also found in Nepal as well. Okay, and it is been said that they are extinct in Pakistan and Bangladesh. Right, and now it is enjoying uh, Schedule 1 protection under Wildlife Protection Act, right? And Appendix 1 in the sites as well. Okay, if you know the IUCN status of this Barasinga, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, usually UPSC ask about IUCN status only, no? That's why I want you people to Google it and try to know. If you don't want to comment also, don't try to comment, but at least try to Google it about this thing. What is the IUCN status of this Barasinga? Then only you will try to remember. Maybe see Schedule 1, generally most important species will be there, no? They'll be in the Schedule 1 and Appendix 1 of sites. Okay, so IUCN status is very, very important. Right, now see, coming to Kanha National Park region, no? It is located in Madhya Pradesh, as we have discussed before. Okay, not only Barasinga, there are Bengal tiger is also there. Okay, Indian leopard is also there. Okay, sloth bear is also there. Right, now see, we have to read about this Maharashtra National Park. It is in Assam. Right, Mudumalai National Wildlife Sanctuary. Even this also we have seen in few of the UPSC previous questions. Right, Tal Chapar Wildlife Sanctuary. See, it is looking somewhat different, right? So we have to read about all these things. UPSC may ask some direct dedicated questions on these options. As I said before, no, I'll try to make list of all these national parks whichever UPSC has asked, and we'll try to make notes on this. Okay, because they are asked, no, so they are very, very important. Right, and all the other national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, there are state-specific national parks and wildlife sanctuaries notes, and there are other YouTube videos. Okay, in the mapping series, in PMFIS book also, state-wise they have given. Okay, we'll try to revise it from there. And whatever UPSC has asked in these examinations, we focus more on them, and we'll try to read about those things. Okay, we'll give special status for them. Okay, in our preparation, because UPSC is focusing on them more and more. Right. So that's it, friends. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching this video, friends. And if you like the content, please just try to share these videos to your friends and family. Okay, please subscribe to the channel. Please comment under these videos. Your feedback is very much valuable for me. Okay, and it will be an encouragement for me as well. Please try to like the videos. It will help me in increasing the engagement of this channel. Okay, so thank you, friends. Let's meet in the next video. Jai Hind.